let's get into it. Sweet Baby Inc. just fired Chris Kindred.
I thought that these people never did anything wrong because there's never been accountability from day one. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And as you see from the title of this video, Chris Kindred.
This is the first time reacting to Smash JT. I know that Lifu or Lifu depends on how you pronounce her name, her channel name, or their channel name. It's a married couple, so that makes sense. But yeah, never reacted to this guy. Let's see.
Employee at Sweet Baby Inc. is now Chris Kindred.
Also, something doesn't work well. This looks as actually. Oh, actually fine.
Former employee at Sweet Baby Inc. According to Master of TDS Gothic Therapy, Chris Kindred, the person that tried to get Kabrutus cancelled, the same Chris Kindred that contacted
Oh, guess somebody else got cancelled here.
My old job trying to get me fired, has been fired from Sweet Baby Inc. And I gotta tell you, just looking at initial reactions online, there is not one single tear being shed. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com.
I really wonder, like, what do you need to do to get fired by Sweet Baby Inc.? Like, genuinely, what do you need to do to get fired by Sweet Baby Inc.? Like, you need to do something absolutely ridiculous to get fired by these people. Like, not like something probably in your mindset has to change that these people will fire you.
For the full article breaking down how Chris Kindred has been fired. And again, shout out to Master of TDS, the Gothic Therapy channel that broke this news. They stated they had an insider at Sweet Baby Inc. that told them verifiably that this is
an insider at
100%
Sweet Baby.
verified that he is gone, no question about it. Chris Kindred did
an
not
insider
quit.
at Sweet Baby.
That Sweet Baby Inc. themselves went over and fired him. And I'm editing right now, so this is Smash from the future. Just insert.
How did they get an insider? I am curious.
Myself to say Master of TDS has updated it, saying that Chris Kindred has already updated his Instagram to put Sweet Baby Inc. as formerly previous employer.
I would not put these motherfuckers at previous employer. What are you doing? I would wipe this out of my resume. I'll be completely real. If I was Chris Kindred, I would wipe that out of my resume. That time does not exist. I'll be completely real.
Baby Inc. So it is confirmed from Chris Kindred himself or herself.
I'm so confused. Why we all keep referring to this person as a he? It's a woman that masquerades as a man. That's not a joke, it's a fact. They probably refer to themselves as a trans man. There's no such thing. It's just a woman in cosplay. Can we please make sure the audience knows? I mean, there are people who are genuinely, like, they have genuine dysphoria. I mean, those people exist. I'll be real. The trans people that I have met in my life, these people do not want to know. They do not want you to know that they are like that they actually are the opposite, like their biological gender. They do not want to know. They want it to be so obvious that they don't want you to know that.
Chris Kindred, a key figure in several online controversies, and someone who most would agree is the originator of Gamergate 2, has been fired from Sweet Baby Inc. Credit to all of this going to Master of the TDS, who was given exclusive insider information from within the Sweet Baby Inc. company. According to Master of TDS, Kindred's firing had not been publicly acknowledged by Sweet
Also, these are technically VTubers.
Baby Inc., but said that the source is highly credible and very close to the situation, making this news as good as officially confirmed. Which is really interesting because this is the same Sweet Baby Inc. that Kim Belair just recently gave a presentation.
Yeah, Kim Belair is the chick that said that you should threaten your your bosses with DEI, like with to comply with DEI. If not, they will get cancelled. Pretty much. That's pretty much what Kim Belair did.
At XOXO Festival saying that they're just misunderstood and it's just this hate campaign against them and everyone's just getting them wrong.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at how many people here are. So we have I already said this before, but we have Asmongold. We have, I forgot her name, but she's on that list. We have Ref says Desu. We have who is his name? I forgot, but I forgot. We have Yellow Flash on this one. We have a lot of people that push back against Sweet Baby Inc.
And they just don't understand how good these sweet, innocent scriptwriters at Sweet Baby Inc. really are. Well, if that's the case, why are you firing one of them? Chris Kindred is no stranger to controversy, and his removal from Sweet Baby Inc. comes after a mounting internal pressure from other members of the company who reportedly were fed up with his behavior. Kindred is most...
With his behavior? What does that even mean? Like, did he no longer comply with, like, their ideals? What happened here? Is what I'm asking.
Famous for his role in what has been dubbed Gamergate 2, which began when he launched an unprovoked attack on Kabrutus, who created a Steam curation group that was openly critical of Sweet Baby Inc. and advising people if they want to stay away from this company, these are the games they work.
Yeah, and it basically created like a Streisand effect where it pretty much spiraled into everyone like knowing Sweet Baby Inc. If they just ignored it, it would have never been as big. But since they didn't, they got their ass beat online, pretty much.
On the same games on Sweet Baby Inc.'s website. Kindred's campaign to deplatform Kabrutus was seen by many as a calculated move to silence criticism, and an attempt to get the removal of Sweet Baby Inc. detected from Steam, in addition to trying to get Kabrutus' Steam account removed and banned for daring to create a curation group of games that were worked on by this company, which, like I've said many times, if you were so proud of your work, wouldn't you be like, cool, you're putting our games together in a group so people know what we've worked on? But obviously, they know what they do is detrimental to the game industry.
I mean, it kind of makes sense why they wouldn't want the list of people, like, knowing what games have been worked on by, like, Sweet Baby Inc. Of course they would not want that. I mean, that kind of makes sense. And they know exactly what they're doing with these games.
And they didn't want the word getting out there. But that's just one of the many troubling...
Which we're gonna talk about later. There's a follow-up video to another Sweet Baby game that absolutely failed.
Incidents involving Kindred. He also made headlines for attempting to get me fired by contacting my old employer and labeling me as some sort of racist, making false claims about me and how...
That's actually, like... It is insane that these people, like, call your bosses. It is insane. Like, the salt is real.
Attacking people of color, Kindred's actions not only crossed professional boundaries, but also reflected his tendency to use smear tactics to damage the reputation of those that dared question him or his company, Sweet Baby Inc. The same company that he was trying to protect by doing damage control is the same company that fired him. I wonder how he feels about that. According to Master of TDS's insider, Kindred's conduct had become too much, even for internally at Sweet Baby Inc., a company that has led plenty of...
So pretty much what I would put it is he was so like in this ideology that even the company said, yo, you need to chill. And when he probably didn't chill, they fired him. I'll be real. It's just like, I would have probably like dropped all the information about Sweet Baby Inc. in some like secret way, I'll be real.
Of controversies that I've covered in detail on this channel. There were reportedly multiple calls to CEO Kim Belair and other decision makers within the company urging them to remove Kindred from his position. And although this decision to part ways with Kindred was made internally, Sweet Baby Inc. has opted not to make any of these statements on the matter public. At least not yet. But at the same time, it's Sweet Baby Inc. and let's not hold our breath because they're not going to be forthcoming with any information. That's all they do. They zip up, tight up, don't tell anyone about anything ever because what they say can and will be used against them because of how...
Pretty much. That's why every person that works for them is privated. That's why the main company is privated. Everything they say will backfire. Everything. At this point, just completely rebrand. New name, new employees, whatever.
they've treated the game community, they are not to be trusted, even when it comes to this kind of action. Madame Savvy said, they are not storytellers. If they were, they'd make original IP. If they love this industry, they wouldn't try to change what exists. They'd teach people how to make their own companies. These people are nothing more than losers.
Yeah, they pretty much just they rarely write their own stories. They do, but they're super bad. We're gonna talk about that again. We're gonna watch a video about that. Everything they touch is literally just existing IPs. It is just existing IPs.
Nuclear Winter said they would only do this if companies they work with demanded it. It's still not good enough. We know what the entire company's scam is now. Never do business with Sweet Baby. This is a huge development, not just because Kindred has been fired, but because it highlights the ongoing internal divisions within Sweet Baby Inc. Not everyone at the company was on board with Kindred's toxic behavior, and that should speak volumes for exactly what's transpiring internally at Sweet Baby Inc. right now. It looks like the push from within had finally gained enough
I have to say though,
to result in his dismissal. And while we could speculate as to what he potentially did in...
I have to say though, they are still kind of smart. Because they have realized that when they have people that go overboard, they will only get harmed. They have realized that when they use certain language, it will drive people away. They are learning. They are evolving. Have to admit that. They're not sticking to their ways completely. Well, not like from the outside, from the inside obviously, but not from the outside.
Inside the company as to what provoked him being fired now after all things, I don't know. It would just be speculation. But based off of his prior actions, it would lead me to believe that if he's doing things external facing, aggressively against people, attacking them and trying to get their lives ruined, stands to reason it's the same type of person that would do something internally against people as well. Digital Alucard said, my first experience with this boy is when he and voice actor Zeno Robinson were accusing Akira Toriyama of being racist.
My first experience with this boy is when he and voice actor Zeno Robinson were accusing Akira Toriyama of being a racist the same day his death was revealed. Both of them blocked me when I called them both. I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna really fucking vomit. This bitch. I'm gonna call it a bitch at this point. And this voice actor are real pieces of dirt. Nobody attacks Akira Toriyama. Not on my watch. That is not happening.
Racist. The same day his death was revealed. Both of them blocked me.
Akira Toriyama gave us the best and worst black character in anime and in the anime series. It took range to do that. Who is he talking about? Is he talking about Popo? Is he talking about Oob? Who is he talking about? Is he talking about the teacher? Like in the manga? It has to be either Popo or Oob. But like... It can't be Topo. Not Topo. Popo. Popo. It can't be Popo. Because Popo isn't based on a black man. Is he based on something like a Hindu god or something? I don't know, but he's not Popo is not based on a black person. So can he only mean, like... He can only mean oob. Who else? There's one from Dragon Ball, original Dragon Ball, like that boxer. What are you yapping?
Me when I called them both out. Which is yet another thing Chris Kindred did. He accused Akira Toriyama, the legendary artist, of being racist.
Racist for Mr. Popo? What? Popo is not based on a black person. This is a retard.
Because he didn't like some of his characters in Dragon Ball Z. Kindred being fired is a lesson for the broader industry too. People who use their positions to bully, intimidate, and silence others will eventually always face consequences, even if those consequences come quietly and behind closed doors. And after way too much time has passed for it to actually even mean anything anyways, it does catch up to you. Acting the way you do like that, Chris, this is kinda what you had coming to you. Kyle Wilson said he tried to ban Cabrutus from having a Steam page, and now he's been banned from having income. How very ironic.
Ironic. Kinda.
For those of us who have been on the receiving end of Kindred's harassment, this feels like a long overdue justice. His attempts to get me fired, his baseless attacks against Cabrutus, and his overall toxic influence on the gaming community has finally caught up to him. The fact that he's out of Sweet Baby Inc. is great news for everyone who values open discussion and accountability in the gaming industry. And I'll say something that will probably get me dislikes on this video, but I hope he lands on his feet. Elsewhere, outside the game industry. I never want to wish ill on anybody, even if they've come after me and tried to ruin my life. I don't want to be the guy that tries...
Understandable, obviously, but that Sweet Baby Inc. in his resume will make it a lot harder knowing when people know where he comes from. That will make his life a lot harder. We have seen it a couple of times where people cannot find a job when they formerly worked for Sweet Baby.
To fight fire with fire. I like to think justice will prevail and the truth will always set you free. As long as you're always searching for the truth and taking the high road, you will be good in this world. It's the type of people like Chris Kindred that deal with situations like this and then get confused as to why the whole world's against him when all he did was bring it on himself. And while I know this video is focused on Chris Kindred, I can't help but relate it back to Sweet Baby Inc. and the time he tried to call my old job and get me fired because he was just so angry that I decided to take it.
That is still unhinged. That is still insanely unhinged. To call somebody's boss to get them fired. That is still ultimately like one of the most unhinged things you can do, probably.
Interest in covering this topic on my YouTube channel. When I reached out to Sweet Baby Inc. to say, what do you have to say about this? What are you doing about this? Are you going to hold your own employee accountable and say something? Are you going to reprimand them? Are you going to do anything? I was met with silence. And this is a frustration that I have with Kim Belair and David Bedard and Sweet Baby Inc. in general. They are not equipped to be CEOs of a company. They're in over their head and continue to prove that day in and day out, where they don't have the best interests of the community.
They are not equipped to be in this space. They are not equipped to be in gaming. They aren't.
They care about one thing, and that's making money. They'll destroy every game in their wake if it means they'll make a buck at the end of the day. Professionally, they should have reached out to me, apologized for what happened, and taken full accountability for it. But no, they're too scared, probably afraid of a lawsuit, probably afraid that there'd be more repercussions coming at them for doing such a thing. Instead of actually being honest and transparent and accountable, they went the complete opposite direction. Next, the monster said, so ignoring potential NDAs and how much of a little bitch he is, when will he spill the SBIT? You know he's going to have a proper bitch fest.
I wonder, like I said, I really wonder if he's gonna drop anything about SBI. I really wonder what's gonna happen if he's actually gonna genuinely drop something.
at some point. And
Like
you know SBI
a nice
dumped his
hit
ass
piece.
hoping they can get back out of the limelight. Won't work, but no options. Kindred's departure is another example of why standing up against individuals like him matters. This is a win for free speech, for the gaming community, and for anyone who's ever been unfairly targeted by a quote-unquote professional trying to leverage their position for personal attacks. So let's celebrate this moment, but at the same time, take it with a grain of salt because Sweet Baby Inc. is still doing the Sweet Baby Inc. things they do. This is a win for all gamers, but at the same time, not a reason for us to go back and relax and rest on our laurels because the job is not done. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. If you appreciate what I'm doing here, please consider hitting that join button.
So here's my thing. Here's my point. Chris Kindred being fired is a good thing. Is a good thing. Now the problem is, even if you manage to get rid of Sweet Baby, like let's assume that you would actually like make them go get bankrupt, right? Somebody will take their place. That's just how this works. So it has to be so unprofitable to be this kind of company that that others have no other choice but to not even attempt to do it, which will not happen. So even if you get rid of Sweet Baby Inc., somebody else. So how did go and put it? Somebody stronger would surface and take their place. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. Interesting that Sweet Baby fires their employees now, because like when it's interesting to see how when they go overboard too much, even they will fire them. Which really makes you wonder, like how bad can it even get? Like Chris Kindred had to go so overboard, like so overboard that Sweet Baby had no other choice but to remove them. Like even inside the company, that is wild. That is wild.